Yo, what's going on, people who play Pokemon? Today is another video. Yay! It has been a few weeks because if you'll notice on the screen or in the title or in the thumbnail or whatever, this isn't week 2. The last video that I put out was week 1. This isn't week 2 because I got a forfeit win week 2, so I didn't have anything to record. I had a really cool team that I built for that week, but my opponent didn't show up. So we got a forfeit win week 2, which is a +3 in this league. So that put us at 2-0 plus whatever it was. I don't even remember. And then I was sick for a week, so I couldn't record. I might still sound kind of sick. I might cough throughout this video. Who knows? I was sick for a week, and we had a hurricane that was supposed to hit. So I was getting ready for that, but then we never actually got hit too bad. So yeah, that was pretty much it. So I played week 3 and 4 in the time that I haven't posted because I played 1 week sick, and then I played week 4 a little bit late, about a day late. So now this video is going up, and there's no team builder for this video because I'm just going to put week 3 and week 4 battles in this video, and I don't want this to get too long. So I will kind of talk about the team a little bit. I'm actually going to try to remember what my week 3 team even was. I know I brought Belly Drum substitute Charizard because I thought that just kind of rigged his team with Scale Shot, Belly Drum Scale Shot. My Logic was just Fizdef for the Metagross and the Dragonite. Crobat was Stallbreaker set, I want to say. I think it was Taunt, Super Fang, Brave Bird Roost. Hatterene was Assault Vest because if you look, I don't have NDD switch-ins. Like, NDD was actually pretty scary for this team, so I was just itching for a Expanding Force switch-in because I didn't bring Obstagoon. Obstagoon would have been alright into the team, but I kind of wanted to show off a couple of my other Pokemon this week, so I didn't bring Obstagoon for this game. It also helped with Greninja, Hatterene does, and even with AV, it helps with the Dragonite. I wasn't too scared of Dragonite for this matchup. I think it was really hard for it to get off a DD, basically. Lucario making its debut with, I think it was SD. No, it wasn't SD. I didn't have SD. It was Extreme Speed, Meteor Mash, Ice Punch, and Crunch. Yeah, it had to have been Crunch because of the Metagross, I think. I didn't bring CC for this week. It was E-Speed, Ice Punch, Crunch, and Meteor Mash. And then Fortress I brought with Overcoat and Stealth Rocks. It had spikes on it first, but I just thought that the Stealth Rocks was actually a little bit better. This team's hazard removal was actually really bad. Their defoggers are Florges, Dragonite, and I think that might be it. So their hazard removal was really bad. It kind of sucked that I couldn't fit rocks and spikes. I was playing around with this Fortress set a lot because at first I had rocks and spikes, and then I thought, well, I kind of want spin to get rid of rocks for Charizard if I'm going to try to come in late. I don't know if Charizard's going to come in late because the Metagross could come with rocks and it's going to get him up because I'm not switching my Hatterene in, and my Crobat didn't have defog because it was the Stallbreaker set. So I dropped spikes for spin, and then I put Rock Slide on because they have a Volcarona, and I didn't want Volcarona to set up for free. And then I put Toxic on in case that was a setup target for the Dragonite. And that was pretty much it. That was the Fortress set. I brought Overcoat because it just legitimately hard walls the Venusaur. I get the Rapid Spin, the Leech Seed away, it can't Sleep Powder me, and I 4 times resist 1 stab, and I'm immune to the other stab. So the Venusaur can't do anything to me. I could just sit there and get my rocks up and kind of do whatever to the Venusaur. So that was the team builder. Let's kind of start the battle so we can see what happens, because to be honest, it's been a while. I don't even remember what happens myself. So we lead Crobat, right, because we're the Stallbreaker set. We taunt turn 1 because I'm thinking the only thing I don't want to happen here is I don't want rocks to go up. It's a pretty free rock turn for Metagross. But we get a little bit of information. I might be going a little bit too fast. I'm going to slow down the replay. Get a little bit of information on the Metagross set. He didn't set Stealth Rocks. He's actually Iron Defense. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, Metagross is not the rocker, which means if Stunfisk comes on the field and I don't think I can kill it, I can stop rocks from going up with Hatterene because Stunfisk doesn't beat Hatterene. ever. So I just get to stop rocks from going up with Hatterene. So I taunt turn 1, and we get all of that information basically turn 1 for free. Then I go into Charizard as the Meteor Mash, and I'm thinking I'm about to actually just, you know, sweep this game. Substitute, I get the belly drum off. I didn't mega here. It was kind of a 50-50 in my head. If I do mega and he discharges, he doesn't break sub. But if he earth powers, he does break sub. But if I don't mega any earth powers, obviously he doesn't break sub. In hindsight, I think I overthought it. I think I should have just mega'd, because why would he ever hard predict earth power there? Because he knows I have the option of megaing and not megaing. His play is always to discharge and just hope it breaks the sub after I don't mega. So kind of a misplay. I should have just mega'd. Because it's actually a really bulky Charizard, because I'm belly drum, I didn't need a lot of attack. I'm almost max HP. And right here, let's just talk about how good the Stunfisk ate that move. Stunfisk would have eaten a 75 base power stab move from a +6 Charizard. That's crazy. So he brings Greninja in. I switch out because obviously Greninja has Water Shuriken, which kind of sucked because, man, Charizard was about to just sweep the game on turn 2 or turn 3 or whatever it was. But he brought it in, and obviously it's because he had Water Shuriken. So I decided to save Charizard because I still think it can do a lot of damage now, especially because Stunfisk is gone. We know that was the rocker. Greninja might have spikes, but we'll see. We'll see if it has spikes. If it does, I can try to remove them, or Charizard just becomes a sack later. But I've got a pretty safe switch in to Hatterene here. It was also a little weird to me that he was Water Shuriken. Granted that he has an NDD, but I guess I also brought extreme speed, so there's not much room to talk, but it was a little weird. So they go for the Water Shuriken, and we just eat that up with Hatterene. They do get 5 hits, but it doesn't matter too much. Metagross comes in. I think I click Nuzzle. Yeah, that's the only play to make there. No sense in trying to Draining Kiss. NDD comes out. I'm not sure for why, but I mean, it does put a lot of pressure on me right here. And I think this was kind of a misplay by them. I think they should have kept their Scarf. Scarf and DD was just insane for me to deal with, but they trick it away, which is, you know, like I said, better for me. I like that they gave me the Scarf and they took it away from them, because NDD was hard. It was hard to switch into for sure. Like, I guess Fortress can, but it has Mystical Fire, so it could hit it. Here, Milotic is just going to 1v1 this Metagross because, like I said, we figured out the set really early on, and they're paralyzed, so it's like this Metagross is pretty much dead weight. I can just stay in with Milotic and recover up and scald it down, and that's what I did. I just click recover here, I think. Yeah, and then go into Venusaur, and then I go into Fortress because this is my free ticket to rocks, because this Venusaur can't touch me. Sleep Powder, I'm immune because of Overcoat. So we get our rocks up here, and DD comes back out, and I think this is where I sack Hatterene, because, like I said, I just don't have any DD switch-ins. But now that the Scarf's gone, I can at least revenge it, which is great. So we get a little bit of chip. It's not a lot, and then Hatterene just goes down. It did get crit, but I don't think that mattered all too much. And this is what I was talking about before. Charizard actually comes back in and claims a kill on something. Like, he has to give me a Pokemon, even though I'm on 2%. The Charizard is still putting on pressure. So I come in, I hit the Blaze Kick, and DD goes down. And then Greninja comes back out, and he can't go Dragonite there because he can't risk. I guess he could risk another Scale Shot because he has Water Shuriken. But I guess he's predicting Milotic there. I guess he thought Milotic would be my Greninja answer, but I'm just too scared of getting flinched down, and Fortress pretty much did what it needed to do. It got its rocks up. So I don't really need the Fortress anymore, so I just decided to go into that. Milotic takes care of the Metagross here. My Milotic is pretty much at full still, and they've got 3 Pokemon left. So Greninja comes out. I go into Lucario, and this was actually the play that just wins me the game right here. Because I'm looking at, I actually sat on this turn for a bit, because I'm looking and I'm thinking, do they Hydro Pump here with Milotic on the field? And I just decided that they don't. That's kind of how I've been playing Pokemon recently, is I just decide that my opponent is or is not going to do something, and then I do what I think is best because of that. So I thought Dark Pulse is the most threatening to my whole team right now. Lucario with E-Speed doesn't kill Greninja unless I'm at +1, which then it does. So I can go into Lucario here, eat the Dark Pulse, get my +1 boost, and then extreme speed to kill it because of Justified. So that's what I did, and they did Dark Pulse. I did get that play right. So Lucario gets to +1, and it's pretty much just a menace from here on out. Venusaur comes in, we get the extreme speed, and Lucario literally 2-hit KOs this Venusaur because we are also adamant Lucario. I don't think I mentioned that, but we are adamant Lucario. Ice Punch, and we got the crit. I don't think it matters too much because, I mean, look at the amount of Pokemon I have. We wouldn't have won the game 5-0, but we probably would have won it 4-0. And then Lucario cleans up. This is a 7-point Lucario, by the way. I don't know who let that happen, but so far, I think by week 3, we have seen every single one of my Pokemon. I think all of my Pokemon, Piloswine. Piloswine is the one Pokemon that hasn't come to a game yet. Other than that, we've seen all 10 of my Pokemon, I think. Or I guess, yeah, I guess it could be 10. I don't remember how many I had, but we've seen all my Pokemon except Piloswine. Fortress came in and literally did what a 4-pointer Fortress should do. It got rocks up. That my 4-point Fortress has achieved its value for the rest of the season. My Hatterene now has come to 2 games, been pretty good in both of them. I would say achieved its value for the rest of the season as a 7-point Pokemon or 8-point Pokemon. Lucario came to a game, got 3 kills, boom, achieved its value for the season as a 7-point Lucario. Like I just am constantly getting so much value out of these. But now we're going to jump in to the week 4 battle, so I will catch you guys in a second. All right, now week 4, we have ran into one of the worst defensive matchups that we have. This team and one more specific team that I face later on in the season, and they both share a very common typing, which I said in the team builder was going to be a huge issue for us. I think I even just pointed out point blank both of these Pokemon. And it's Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele wrecks my entire team. And there's not much that I could do about it. Scarf Lele could come and it could just Psychic. It could Gleam. It could just kind of do whatever. It pretty much always would pick up a kill. It's the same thing this week. We have the Spadef Hatterene to try and be able to deter the Psychic moves a little bit, maybe get a Nuzzle off on it, but that's not the only issue. The other issue is we get wrecked by Heatran. Like, Heatran's really bad for us to deal with. Mamoswine is really hard for us to deal with. Mega Slowbro is really hard for us to break. Like, this team is not fun. It's not fun to battle at all for mine. I would say this team is even worse than the matchup that I'm going to see later on in the season. This is just a brutal one for me. But let's kind of get through some of the team building decisions that I made for it, just because we'll see how it works out, you know. Charizard, DD, EQ, Shadow Claw, Flare Blitz. A lot of people ask me why Shadow Claw whenever I shared this replay with them. Short answer is it hits Slowbro and Lele, and at +2 Thunder Punch doesn't always kill Lele, whereas Shadow Claw does. And I don't want to Flare Blitz Lele because this team also had a Blissey, so I was trying to Flare Blitz as little as I could, because once I Flare Blitz Blissey, it's like pretty much my Charizard is dead on any other recoil that I have to take, especially if they were like a Rocky Helmet Blissey, which I thought might come just because of Charizard. I just would trade 1 for 1 because I'd have to Flare Blitz it. And at +2, Shadow Claw still 2-hit KO max HP Mega Slowbro, just like Thunder Punch did, and they both didn't 2-hit KO Slowbro with like 180 defense bold. So it was kind of the same. It was just a choice that I made to always get that kill on Lele at the same time. Crobat, Stallbreaker again, because Stallbreaker Crobat actually puts this team in a really hard position. And when I'm saying Stallbreaker Crobat, for people who don't know, it basically just means Super Fang and Taunt, because think of a Pokemon like Blissey, it comes in and it likes to recover up, or even like Slowbro, it likes to come in and teleport out or slack off or something. You Super Fang it down to half and then you Taunt, and then they're kind of stuck. They're just stuck at that HP and they can't recover, which is, for this certain kind of team, is really bad, right? Milotic. is a really interesting melodic. I went through a couple melodics with Togo because I was max defense at first, but then banded what's it called, still killed. I also just realized I didn't update Thunderous on my team from Fortress, so I'm gonna do that live while I'm talking. But we realized that banded Mamoswine or Life Orb Adamant Mamoswine still 2-hit KO'd max defense melodic, and the only way it didn't was if I was a Flame Orb set. But then it's like Flame Orb melodic is kind of bad. I don't really like Flame Orb melodic because you're just taking an extra 6% every turn that you don't really need to be taking per se, and it just feels like it feels kind of useless a lot of the time. But what made it worthwhile was actually Togo's suggestion of making sure that my melodic outsped Adamant Mamoswine. So my melodic actually has a lot of speed, and I was just a lot of speed and a lot of HP to begin with. But then I looked at it and I thought there's two leads right in this game. He's either leading Mamoswine or he's leading Lele, because both of those things, one can be Scarf and the other one doesn't have to be, and they both kind of just wreck me all the same. So I went faster than Adamant, and then I put max special attack. Timid melodic with max special attack, just because if he leads Mamoswine, I'm hitting it and it kills like 54% of the time or something, and if I get a burn, it kills 100% of the time. So I'm taking that chance, you know, to get that Mamoswine out of the way. I'm taking it because I get to recover up on Heatran, because since I'm faster than Adamant Mamoswine, I'm probably faster than the Heatran. I get to recover up on Slowbro, Noivern, because melodic is so specially bulky. The Flame Orb also means that I am a Heatran check because it can't toxic me, and since I'm faster, I'll always get that one recover off before it gets to taunt me if it is the taunt set. So the melodic set was just, it was a weird one, but I think it's gonna work. Thunderous actually wrecks this team. It gets a plot off and it just kills. That's pretty much it. Plot, T-Bolt, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast. Hatterene, I said before, was Spadef with Nuzzle, Future Sight, Training Kiss, and something else I don't remember. Baton Pass, I think. And Lucario is Agility, Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, and Flash Cannon. So let's start this game. Turn one, like I said, I'm leading the melodic. They do lead the Mamoswine. I Scald, I get a crit. Just keep watching. So we kill the Mamoswine, which is great. I'd stay in here because Heat Flare doesn't kill, and I just always get to flip turn out. And like I said before, I get to recover up on the Heatran, so I'm not too worried about it taking damage. Charizard comes in. I'm DDing because I'm just trying to get damage off with this thing. Like, my game plan this whole battle was just attack as much as I could. He does Trick Room. He was Trick Room Slowbro last week. I figured that this was coming, and we figured out he's got defensive investment. He's not only max HP. So I just DD again because I'll get to attack at least one more time and I'll just do more damage. We do 68. So now we die, and that's actually kind of good for us because we get to come in with Lucario while this thing's not at full. So he does slack off the last turn in Trick Room, and I Agility. I don't know what his Slowbro set was because this was supposed to kill. This is a modest Lucario. That was supposed to kill, but we got the Flitch, so it didn't matter. And right now we're just in a really good spot, arguably because of two pretty haxy turns. Now, we do miss Focus Blast there. Is it a big deal? No, I don't think so. We would have got to maybe plot with Thunderous a little bit safer because we would have hit the Shaman, it would have Earth Powered us, and we would have died because we would have also had taken Life Orb Recoil. And then Thunderous gets to come in and Agility in front of the Shaman that is almost dead, or it gets a plot in front of the Shaman that is almost dead. So would it have been better for us to actually, you know, hit the Focus Blast? Yeah, probably, because we also would have done damage, but it's okay. I mean, like you've seen, we've got two pretty big turns of hacks already. So who am I to complain at that point, you know? So we miss a couple more Focus Blasts, it doesn't matter. And then on this turn, I Focus Blast again because I thought maybe they go Heatran, predicting me to Flash Cannon. I think I just over predicted. I think I probably should have just Flash Cannon because obviously their play is to stay in and roost no matter what. So they get back at full for no reason. I could have also went Hatterene But again, I was scared of the heat train coming in, so I didn't go Hatterene. But like I said, I over predicted. I should have just done all that, saved my Lucario for later, because it still did a lot of damage to everything else on the team. And I kind of just sagged it for no reason. But so yeah, that was a misplay on my end. We go Hatterene here. Like, this is the same thing. Like, I should have, I should have just went Hatterene last time and saved the Lucario. This all would have happened if I saved the Lucario. We nuzzle for the Heatran. Surprisingly, this Heatran actually breaks through. It hits the Magma Storm through paralysis, which is huge because those has a 30% chance to miss and a 30% paralysis chance, I think. So it's pretty lucky that they hit both of them. But like I said, who am I to complain? They are the taunt set. So I Scald and they protect like I thought they would. I didn't want to flip turn that turn because there's these weird mind games that happen a lot for some reason. I don't like them. I think they're kind of dumb. But sometimes a player that is a Heatran, it's always a Heatran. I learned this from playing OU. They'll protect and you'll go for the super effective move, or you'll go for the pivot move. Like, right, I have Milotic in here. If I click flip turn on that protect, a lot of Heatran players will just stay in the second time because they think I'm just going to flip turn again, which a lot of times people do, pivot out on the second time after a protect turn, and then the Heatran will just stay in and Magma Storm again. And I'm thinking, I don't really have any switch ins to this Heatran if it hits another Magma Storm unless it's this Milotic. So I Scald the first time thinking they'll protect, thinking that tells them I'm going to hit this Heatran, you should switch out into Shaman. So that's what I did. I Scalded on the protect, and then I flip turned because I kind of conditioned them to think that I was going to Scald that Heatran. So I flip turn out. This is what I was talking about earlier. This would have happened earlier had the Lucario hit the Shaman. The only difference is the Shaman would have been at a little less HP. I don't think it's anything too big. They miss a Seed Flare, which actually does kind of matter a little bit, and we'll talk about that later. They do miss a Seed Flare, which kind of sucks. They hit the next one, and I Sludge Wave the kill. That didn't always have a chance to kill depending on the Shaman set. I almost Nasty Plotted again because I didn't know the Shaman set, but I just opted to Sludge Wave because I think that their damage on Lucario was pretty offensive, so I was pretty confident that they didn't have a lot of HP investment. This is another thing. This was supposed to always kill Noivern, and Noivern never killed me here because we scouted their Noivern set with the Focus Blast from earlier. They were definitely max HP Noivern, which meant they couldn't be max special attack. So Draco actually never killed me here. Had the Seed Flare hit, Draco does kill me. That's what I was talking about earlier, where it mattered a little bit, but arguably this turn matters a lot more. They missed Draco. Like the game is just not going well for them, and then they get parried on top of that. So Thunderous just claims 3 kills here because I'm not gonna lie, I hacked this dude out. I kept playing the win cons that were like, if he is this specific set, I will win this game, because my matchup was bad. Now, am I gonna complain that I got these hacks? No, no, I'm not. I have been on the receiving end of hacks a lot, and it sucks. And I felt really bad for this guy. I felt insanely bad. But at the same time, this matchup was really hard, and it was like that. Like, the hacks is kind of the only way that I was gonna probably win it as comfortably as I did. But yeah, like I just felt really bad for the guy. He basically didn't even get to play the game. So Thunderous just claims the kill there, and then we hit the Focus Blast and it claims the kill there, and then we Sludge Wave the Lele and it claims the last kill. Like I said, there was a lot of turns of just things going insanely right for me and insanely bad for him. The crit on turn 1, which he didn't know I usually kill there anyways. And if I don't, I get my Flame Orb, and then I get to recover and stuff. He was probably setting rocks there though, which actually, again, I don't think mattered because it took 2 hits for my Charizard to die anyways, which would have been the same because Scald didn't kill it, and then Future Sight would have. So maybe the rocks didn't matter too much. It would have mattered for the Lucario. The Lucario would have not had an extra turn because I think Lucario was on 3% at one point, so Lucario would have died. I'm imagining he clicked rocks turn 1. So the turn 1 crit, the flinch on Slowbro when he was trying to set up another Trick Room, The miss on the first seed flare, the miss on the Draco Meteor, the para on the Noivern, so it didn't get the Draco Meteor again, and try to crit me back, and then it was just, after that it was game. So like I said, I feel bad, but that does put us 4-0 plus 16. We are currently the 1 seed and feel a lot better about this week's matchup. So hopefully we continue to win and I can continue to put out some pretty good videos. But that is it for me, so I will catch you guys next week. Adios.